Okay, let's do this. Very well. Let's do this. Let's get the show on the road. We're going to talk about Superman. Superman is the man of the hour, folks, right now. First of all, well, happy fucking 4th of July, right? By this point, it's been a couple of days, right? A few days later. Sorry about that, but yeah, happy 4th of July, better late than ever. Let's get down to business. We're talking Superman, the man of the hour right now. And his movie is just around the corner. So, there's that to think about. And, oh boy, the Man of Steel has been through quite a few things, man. I like lighters for some reason. But yeah, man, when it comes to Superman, he's a great character, right? We all know the basics. For those of you who don't, well, he was created back in the 30s, April 18th, 1938, approximately. That's the one. I'm pretty sure. And he was co-created in this case, by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, something along those lines. I always forget. But yeah, he's one of the first characters, right? The first superhero, the one who is credited for introducing us to the genre, pretty much the tropes, the tropes of the superhero genre as we know it. Superhero alter ego, in this case, Superman, Clark Kent, the villain, a love interest, and the cast, right? Which I think is very important because Superman has that thing. He has the cast going for it. And so yeah, man, like jumping straight into the movie situation, trailers. We have seen the trailers by now. I'm pretty sure you have formed your own opinion about it. And it's somewhat shaky at some spots. Listen, my opinion from the trailers and the comic bookish angle they're taking, that's fine. There is no trouble there. I think that the fact that it's more colorful and vibrant, that's fine. That's cool. Something you need to keep in mind, DC Comics, different from Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics, it's the world outside your window. DC, it's more fantastical, right? The Earth itself is a little bit bigger. There's different cities, heroes, what have you, right? And all good stuff. In the case of Superman, well, we know the basics, right? And he's a heavy hitter, OP, upper limit unknown type of character. He's up there. He's the hero of heroes, and he's one of the strongest, if not the strongest. I personally don't really like when he's like, he can do it all, but it's fine. It's comic books, and sometimes our heroes do grow out of proportion over time. Superman is an example. Wolverine is an example. When Wolverine started, his healing factor was like wounds. Now the motherfucker can regenerate pretty much from scratch, from like an atomic blast. And by this point, it's an already well-established thing. You can go back. And if the fans take it and like it, it is what it is. So, to be fair, the same thing can apply to the Man of Steel. In my opinion, the basic powers is fine. Like hit vision, that's fine. Super strength, like top or peak, that's fine. X-rays, I don't have a problem with that. The flight or super speed, that's fine. But what's the other one? Oh, freeze breath. That's kind of stupid. I'm not gonna lie, but I'll take it. It's fine. So yeah, Superman. It's the hero of heroes, and right now there has been some controversy surrounding James Gunn, the trailers, this and that, and we all know why. DC fans different from Marvel fans. DC fans are more hardcore, and in this case, James Gunn has to tackle multiple fronts, whether he wants to admit it or not. And he's avoiding it. He's trying to dodge it. But no, he has to please he has it difficult because you need the normies on board, but you need the comic book fans, the purists, the Zack Snyder fans, the Henry Cavill fans. Like, he has his plate worked out for him, if we're being honest. Like, it's not going to be easy, and there's a lot of backlash and pushback due to the Henry Cavill situation. And it's understandable. It's understandable. Like if I were Marvel, like Marvel chose to go the direction of the MCU heavy awful stuff, and we all know how that has turned out for them. They have alienated their fan base, disrespected the comic books, ruined a lot of their characters in both films and in the books. Just look at Iron Man and what's happening with Ironheart, and take a look at what they did in the comic books. Like, at a time where you thought they would put out more content pertaining to Iron Man and like seminal stories, they killed him twice in the comic books. Why you would do that, it's anybody's guess. But it's done. Had Marvel been smart, had Kevin Feige had two choices. A, take the W, take the win, and retired after Endgame. And he would have gone into the sunset as the Kevin Feige who built the Marvel universe. Instead, he chose to turn it into the MCU retarded universe at this point. But what happened? Here's the thing. What I would have done is I would have gone for a Superman movie, actually, within Marvel. And nope, I'm not talking about the Century. I'm talking about Hyperion. I would have waited 3 years after Endgame, craft a Hyperion movie script, and I would have given Jonathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers take on Hyperion. That origin story where he's holding together two worlds from a collapsing universe. Like, you could have used that as the beginning of the incursions, and that's how you would have introduced that theme, right? Like that element into the universe and move forward from there. But the thing is, it would have been a hopeful story, and it would have knocked the teeth out of DC, because it would have been like, well, if DC won't give us a Superman, then we'll give you a Superman hopeful story. You could have introduced him with Thor, have a Thor versus Hyperion or Superman-like type character. Would have been fun. Would have been great. You could have had like a great landscape to work with if you wanted to keep it like on the hero side. The other options, they're way too logical. You could have gone either Space Frontier, use the Guardians for it, and you could have gone for Annihilation. You could have just built towards Annihilation and Annihilus. Guest starring Thanos at some point, everyone would have been like, what? You could have done justice to so many things on the comic books, but they chose not to. Stupid. The other option for Marvel was the dark side, the supernatural. You would have gone the Rise of the Midnight Suns, Blade, the Night Stalkers, what are these guys called? Oh yeah, the Darkhold Redeemers, Morbius, the Living Vampire. I know that would have been a hassle to work around considering the Sony situation, but maybe they could have pulled it off. And of course, the main stars, Ghost Rider, Danny Ketch, and Johnny Blaze. I would have had that duo. I love that duo. It's so much fun from the 90s. That's 90s at its peak. It's just hardcore, extreme. It's just cool. But they didn't, right? And they fucked up because instead of making like a set of good stories and bombarding us with bad story after bad story, they could have done the smart choice, which to me was one of the options, a Hyperion movie, like a Superman hopeful story type of deal in Marvel. And they didn't, man. And instead, they just added to the deconstruction of the superhero, which everybody's tired of at this point. And what they really should have done is that, right? Because instead it's like they fit into the old trope that we have grown tired of, which is the evil Superman, right? In the comics, we saw evil Superman, Hydra, Captain America. Then we got Brightburn, a movie directed by James Gunn. Again, questionable choice in retrospect, choosing James Gunn to direct the Superman movie. But then we have, from the Invincible universe, we have Omni-Man from The Boys. We have Homelander, which, by the way, it's just watch the first season of The Boys. The rest is trash. But in the comic book is better. Of fucking course. Then what else? What else do we have? Something else that I mean. Oh yeah, in Marvel, stupid use Icarus from the Eternals. Like, no man, no, boring. And they tinker around the origins of the Marvel universe. Never do that. It's convoluted as it is. Leave it be, or just use the stones, or don't use them, right? And they use them wrong, by the way, especially in Endgame. But yeah, back to Superman. The trailers have been hit or miss. I personally don't have that much of a problem with Krypto, robots, and all that stuff, kaiju monsters, because that's leaning more into the comic books. That's great, that's fine. 10 out of 10, keep moving in that direction. The issue is, well, at least personally, aside from Superman losing his temper, like he's a very restrained type of character, and you should show that. You should be able to showcase that, so that when he loses control, or maybe not control, but when he lashes out a little bit, and he shows that emotion, it's like, whoa, there's some impact to it, and you're like, whoa, bro, you are reminded that you are dealing with a godlike being, right? And that's cool. Against the villain, right? Not against Lois at a conversation interview, right? Those are the situations where Superman would actually handle himself the best, because that's the change, right? It's like, hi Lois, are you okay? And Mrs. Lane, you can tell the change, and that's cool. That's the fact that he does that is like, okay, well, they are toying around that alter ego Superman, right? Of course, they are one and the same. Like, there's no distinction. Like, he's Clark Kent first, Superman second, right? Everything good about Superman comes from Clark Kent and his development with Jonathan and Martha Kent, right? Papa Mama Kent. We haven't seen that much from Martha. Have we seen Mama Kent? And, I remember there's a scene where they show Papa Kent. But I digress. The thing is, when it comes to Superman, is that, yeah, man, like, the thing that I'm perceiving is that it's overcrowded. That's the thing that I'm the most concerned about. And I know James Gunn has some experience in handling multiple characters, which is great. It's great. But it works best when it's like Outlaws type of a deal. You know, like the rebels, or the morally ambiguous type of characters. Those are the ones that he handles the best. But this is like a traditional, like a classic hero. And I don't know if James Gunn can do that, especially humor-wise. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 comes to mind, because the first one, great, perfect. The Suicide Squad, great. Although I would have killed John Cena's character, Peacemaker. And I don't like him. They should have killed him and kept Rick Flag. Everyone says that. Everyone likes Rick Flag. Just give us that. For a TV show. It would have been a lot better, more engaging, I think. Man, but yeah, the thing is, I would think it's the type of movie where you need to keep things like simple, narrowed down, and focused on the one character that matters the most, which is Superman. It needs to be a feel-good movie and a home run. From my personal opinion or standpoint, I would say if it's like a feel-good movie where you come out of the theater feeling great, that's good. I can take that W. I'm not necessarily sure if Warner Bros. Can take that type of W. I do think they need a home run. And James Gunn has been trying to dodge that, to the sides, right? Not a great plan. But yeah, hopefully they'll knock it out of the park enough. I'm rooting for DC more than I am for Marvel and the fiasco that the Fantastic Four is shaping up to be. Awful. It's just starting for the casting, which is the opposite here. The casting here, like, the conversation is around comic bookish nonsense, because the cast seems fine. Like, Superman, he seems like a well-spoken, level-headed type of guy. Seems cool, he seems nice. Somewhat being restrained in interviews. We'll get that at the end. Lois Lane seems cool, like very nice type of female, Cool. She seems to feel the role very well. Jimmy Olsen, most accurate we've ever seen. The problem is when you start to think about the rest, because the only other thing would be the villain, and you get Lex Luthor, big character, not just anybody. But now there's rumors about Bizarro, the gorilla thing that I don't remember the names. I'm sorry. There's the other one. There's rumors of Brainiac, but then you have the confirmed, right? Like Lex Luthor. You got Guy Gardner's Green Lantern, and that's a major Green Lantern, if you ask me. You got Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, and Guy Gardner. And the fact that he's being played by Nathan Fillion, that's great actor. But he's one of the majors, right? You would think you need to give him some screen time, actually something. But you got that Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, Ultraman, the chick with the spikes that I can't remember. You have Metamorpho in this movie as well. And we have seen better shots of Metamorpho by this point. I think I'm missing someone here. Ultraman, Metamorpho. Oh, yeah. Mr. Terrific is also in the movie. Like, duh, so obvious. Mr. Terrific, like, these are all kind of, I would argue, like, heavy hitter type characters. Not that they're necessarily powerful compared to Superman, but I mean, they are like heavy characters, as in they carry weight and value, to the universe. The type of characters that you would like to see develop, like not just wasted on a one and done movie. And I don't know. I personally feel like the movie is a little bit overcrowded, but who knows? As long as they keep the focus on Superman and saving lives, because that's what Superman is about. A lot of people complain or are afraid that, Superman cannot be defeated because he's invulnerable. That's not the point. If you give him a worthy challenge, like a Kryptonian or someone who has equal strength, that can hurt him. He's not like immortal. He's mostly invulnerable. And of course, we all know his one weakness being kryptonite. But the thing is, as long as you put a character that hits as hard as he does, then you have a movie. You have a movie, and the thing is, even when your villain doesn't necessarily matches Superman level of strength, if he can outmaneuver Superman intellectually or put him on a collision course with that type of moral ambiguity, that's cool, because that's when Superman is challenged, and that's when he shines the brightest, pretty much, because he proves his point. He'll go the extra mile. If you put lives in danger, and Superman will figure out a way to save as many lives as possible. You know what? In retrospect, that scene from the Superman movie from 2003 or 4, whatever year it was, that is a great scene when you see him saving lives over and over and falling debris, explosions, like this and that. That if you focus the movie on that type of balance, you gotta just give us all-star Superman and you have it. You have it right there, but don't bring like this bleak, boring tone. If it's from the villain, that's fine. If it's coming from Lex Luthor's self-obsessed and self-absorbed mentality that he has to be the one like on the spotlight all the time, like it makes sense, right? From the villain, but work that thing out. But the thing is, people are tired of all that bleak, nihilistic bullshit at this point. They are, man. They are. Just look at the Superman evil trope, like that I was mentioning, and that I may have lost my train of thought over. We had evil Superman in the comics, evil Superman in the movies. We had Hydra Cap. We had the evil Superman type Icarus, Homelander, Omni-Man, the Brightburn that I mentioned. It's just too much. Drop it. Leave it. We've seen it. Although in Invincible, it's just for the first arc, if you think about it. But not the point. The point is that we have been bombarded with that idea. How about you go to classic Superman? It'll blow things out of the water. And this is the chance they got. This is the chance they got, and they should go all out, but in the good way, right? Not just throwing characters for the sake of it, which is my personal, not complaint, but concern, right? I'm hoping he manages to do it. The other thing is James Gunn's ego seems to be blowing out of proportion for this one. Like, I'm not the only one who thinks this. I'm sure you have heard plenty of people saying the exact same thing, and he's just going a little bit cuckoo on the marketing, and it's just weird because that's the joke, right? Like Superman James Gunn instead of James Gunn Superman, but he has put himself self-centered on the promotional material. Like, this is my movie. And man, James effing Gunn, like, if he's not careful, he's going to be shredded, man. Because again, DC comic book fans, more intense type of crowd, and you already have the Snyder fans working against you. Like, duh. You have to like bring them on board somehow, convince them with a good movie, of course. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out. We're literally just a couple of days away whenever I do put this out. Jeez. But yeah, I mean, hoping for the best. My money is on this movie. I'm hoping they can deliver at least a feel-good movie like F1, because, man, the Fantastic Four is an absolute train wreck. And gender swaps, character like alterations, like not being faithful, that they are just playing smokes and mirrors in that one. The whole movie, you could argue, is a red fucking herring. But yeah, other than that, man, like Superman has a lot of stuff going for it. The other thing I didn't like, I guess, was Superman and Krypto. I like Krypto. I like dogs. Dogs can't tell if you're beat up. Like, I remember my dog. It might be a breed thing, but I remember my dog being super happy and crazy when he saw me. But when he felt that I was kind of sick and beat up, he was like, he brought down his energy to a minimum, and he just got next to me and wanted to be as close to me and was feeling kind of sad, right? And that's me just being kind of sick, right? Like stupid flu or something. Or a cold. Like, well, it was a heavy cold, but doesn't matter, infection from something. But my point is, Krypto, it's like a smarter dog, you know. Like, it's not just like a dog, right? Like, even dog owners know that very well, that your dog is remarkably smart. But the thing is, I don't think he would beat Superman even more. I think he would be like, what? My owner is injured? He would do something about it. He wouldn't just like jump on him that way. And I think that's just James Gunn inserting his awful humor. Like, again, in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Guardians movie, it feels natural. But in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, not so much. It's annoying. The taser face joke, nobody likes that shit. Nobody likes that. Stay as far away as possible from that, or you're gonna ruin Superman. Like, you can do humor with Superman, but you have to be like very like heartwarming about it, like kind of mellow, because that's how Superman is. And it's like he can make you chuckle, like, that's cool, that's hopeful, optimistic, and it's great. It makes you feel good, man. That's what we need out of the Superman movie. But yeah, the Krypto thing, again, the fact that the Papa Can and the Krypto thing are like more like James Gunn self-inserts. Like, the dog is like, it's preoccupying if you actually look into the dog from like James Gunn's dog. If you see it, you're like, bro, this is Krypto basically. Like, what are you doing, right? Like, just go for the, like, Krypto is like a Labrador, I think, maybe. From what I recall, like that type of breed, I guess. That's what they should have done. But self-inserting your personal life into the movie, I'm not sure that's the best way to go. But who knows? But yeah, I guess we'll find out soon enough. Of course, feel free to leave your opinions, right? That's what the comment section is for. If you're a DC hardcore fan, feel free to tell me to fuck off in the comment section for liking Marvel over DC or whatever. I don't know. That's what the comment section is for. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And one more thing before I leave. Remember, Superman stands for truth, justice, and the American way.